Okay, guys, welcome to our unedited Q&A day, eh?
Aye. Hey. It's been a while.
We haven't had a Q&A day for a long time, and we so enjoy them, and so we decided to have a little
Fireside chat.
That's a fireside chat. We can't wait to show you a little tour of our house and how we've set this all up, and we're just collecting so many goodies. But anyway, we're going to focus and jump right into questions today because we have quite a few. All right, first question. Did Ben keep the same job, and were you nervous or excited to move?
So I still have the same job, and I have some things in the works within my same company. There's a lot of different opportunities, especially now with the way that a lot more jobs are remote than they were before. So it was a little bit more cart before the horse, but
We always do that.
it's worked out just fine.
We just always have faith that, like, if we feel led to go somewhere and we've been really prayerful about it, we've been wanting to move to Texas for like 10 years, 12 years. So we just knew it was the right time and that God was leading us in it, and so we did it.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's do it. For those of you that are just catching up on our videos, we just moved to Texas from Washington State. We traveled around the country for a year. We moved back to Washington for a year, and now we just moved to Texas. So that's where probably all these questions are going to be leading towards, is our move and why we're here and all of that, because we kind of just decided 3 weeks before we moved and bought a house and moved. So it's been pretty sporadic for a lot of you.
We always talk about that. All of our life decisions happen really, really quickly.
Okay, so what happened to homeschool? Do you feel like school is taking away some of your freedom? What happened to homeschool is Miller. It's just to be completely honest. Miller takes a lot of our attention, and we just were feeling like during the day when I was supposed to be sitting down and schooling with the kids, I was just focusing on Miller and how active he is and how in everyone's face and business he is, which is normal for a 3-year-old, but it made it very hard and very confrontational for homeschooling, and just made an environment that we didn't want the kids to be in for like homeschooling, and they needed some social life and some of that, and they were really excited for public school. So I feel like we felt total peace about the decision, and we were waiting on that to feel like this is where they should go to school. We feel great about it, and I feel like we've landed in that spot.
Right. Well, and Miller also thrives with one-on-one attention, so that was a really good opportunity for us to get the kids into something a little bit more social, and then also give him the attention that he really needs.
Yeah, just like they all got individually when they were 3 years old. So we wanted to make sure and give that to Miller as well.
Yeah.
And also for us, school is really fluid. So we don't feel like we're stuck in public school. We don't ever feel like we're stuck in homeschooling. I'm sure we'll homeschool again. I'm sure they'll go to private. I'm sure they'll go to public. I want to move to Europe. So they'll probably be in maybe a school there where all the immersion kids come in. Like, whoo, so many possibilities. Okay, so no, I don't feel like it takes away our freedom. I feel like we make school work for wherever we are at that exact time.
Yeah.
No question, just be happy and safe and healthy. That's sweet.
Thank you.
What is your top mom tip hack? Oh, so many. My top mom tip is to make sure that you prioritize yourself. That might sound silly and cliche because, I mean, every mom knows they should. But when you prioritize your own health and happiness, you will be a better mom. It's individual for everyone. For me, I need like a solid day once every couple months where I don't talk to anyone. Like my introvertedness comes out and I just need to be left alone. So like I'll take a whole day, Ben will give it to me on a Saturday or something, and I just will not speak. I will just go out into the world and just...
What's that saying? Like you can't be your best for others if you can't be your best self or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. And that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And I've learned that more and more with each kid, that I have to have some introverted alone time.
Right.
Okay, I know you speak of your faith. Would you mind sharing what that is for you? Oh, well, I think we speak on our faith a lot. We identify as Christians, but I wouldn't say that we're super religious. Like we aren't, right now we don't go to church, COVID, and because we moved, and even before that we weren't total like church-going people. We've always had a church that we attend, but for us, our relationship or our faith and our religion is more about relationship with God and how we is in our everyday life and how we live our life for him and according to him. And we just believe in a really big message of love and how Jesus came and he forgave all of our sins. And therefore, we are all forgiven and we are all made perfectly in his image. And so we view that as an opportunity to just love people really well and to teach our kids about love and acceptance and about how, just like if you look at Old Testament God versus New Testament God, how we can really dive into that and how Jesus just changed the whole narrative. So what faith in religion is for us, sorry, I'm totally speaking.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would say that I like to call us followers of Jesus because it's not necessarily about like the structure of Christianity and what Christianity has a lot of different, interpretations and baggage that can come along with it.
Yeah.
But, we like to focus on, okay, who is Jesus and why do we follow him and believe in him? And
how can we be more like him?
Right. And usually in every situation, if we're thinking, okay, how would Jesus handle this situation? It's usually with grace and with love. So that's kind of what we like to focus on. Yep.
And I am not against church at all. We are hunting for a church. We love the structure of church. We love the community of church. But we also know that people are faulty. We have all fallen short. So we don't put our identity in church. We put our identity in God.
Yeah. Our relationship with God shouldn't be hinging on the church that we're going to.
Yeah. Okay, next question. With the craziness of the world right now, would you consider full-time RVing again? No.
No.
Honestly, we loved full-timing, and it was perfect for where we're with Miller and the age he was at. But now that he's 3 and so active and everyone's rah, 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 all the time, it would be too much for us as a family and a family dynamic because him and Wesley are the same person and they can love each other so well, but they can also kill each other. So it's really important that we let them all have space and we put them in their own activities and we find time to be together as a family, but it's also really healthy for everyone to just be able to spread out.
Yeah.
Just at this point in life. And we've done the RVing thing and we still love it. We still have a trip planned this next month. And now that we live in the South, we can go to so many of the destinations we haven't been to yet. And we love that. But having a home base we have found is really important for our kids at this time. And I am like super passionate about going overseas now.
Oh boy.
So stay tuned. Okay. Because we went to Australia for a month. I didn't really vlog it because we didn't know if we wanted to vlog at that time. But I really want to go to Europe for an extended amount of time. Okay. Did Ben get a new job? I already answered that. Why did you guys move? Were you planning on it for a while? And where will you rest your bones? Where will we rest our bones? Who knows?
When we first got married a little over 11 years ago, we were this close to moving to Texas. We had a U-Haul booked. We had our plan, our whole trip planned and everything. We had one of Becca's aunts looking at apartments for us. So it's kind of always been in our plan to do it.
Well, but then you got a really good job opportunity and we stayed with that.
Yeah.
I think it's always just been in God's timing and we've always allowed God to kind of lead our path and our way. And we've just been constantly in prayer about it, knowing we were going to move, but not knowing when. And we found this house and we're like, yeah, let's do it.
Well, what's great about it is we have a lot of family here already. So we kind of have a built-in community to move to.
Yeah.
So we're not necessarily just moving away from that. And we love the sunshine. That's a very big part of it.
So how did you take the leap and move to another state? Honestly, the older I get, the more Washington State's weather depressed me. And I was starting to get seasonal depression and I found I had no energy. And like all my thoughts were wrapped around the weather. And I would talk about it constantly. Like when you look at the forecast and you see like 30 days of straight rain with like 1 day of partial sun, I just couldn't handle it anymore. The gray, and I feel fed, like my soul feels happy when I'm outside and in like the warm and sun and just being outdoors, but I don't like having to wear like 7 layers of raincoats and having to put all the boots on and all the things. So that was a big reason for me personally is I just needed to have better weather just for my mental health.
Yep, agreed.
Like it's October 31st, guys, and I'm wearing this. Like
It's great.
Let's be real. Last year for Halloween, I wore 3 snow jackets to trick or treat because it was so cold in Washington.
And that question might have been a little bit more logistically too. So, I mean, just in really short, what we did logistically is we got a U-Pack big moving trailer and they dropped it off at our house. We loaded it up and then we took off in the motorhome and then they sent a semi-truck, picked it up, and then they shipped it down here and dropped it off.
Yeah, it went pretty smoothly.
We had it unloaded, so it all worked out pretty well. It was a several week process, but it worked.
How did we decide to move and how did we have faith in our decision?
I mean,
every decision we make is
very like, okay, this feels right, so let's do it.
Yeah. It seems sporadic, but we talk about every opportunity. We talk about every possibility, and we talk it to death. And so when it finally feels right, we know we just go for it. Mm-hmm. So for RVing, for example, we knew we were in this place we did not want to be. We knew our marriage was not doing well. We knew his job was sucking the life out of him. We talked for a year solid about what can we do? Like, you can't leave. What are we going to do?
Someone's on our driveway.
Yeah, it's the plumber.
What are you talking about?
We're filming.
We're talking about all kinds of stuff.
And so when you talk about all these opportunities for so long, when one finally feels right, when we both are in agreement, it's like, yes. Then we just have faith and we know that that's God leading us to do it. Mm-hmm. So we just take the leap.
And with this and with any really big decisions that we make it quickly, but we're also constantly in prayer about it too, that we're like, okay, God, if this is what, what your will is for us, then, open the doors, and if it's not, then shut them, and we're very receptive to that. So, we've had several
we have a lot of doors shut.
Yeah, we've had several opportunities where we're like, wow, this feels really awesome, and then the door's shut, and we're like, okay, well, that wasn't meant to be. Yeah. That wasn't in God's plan for us. So,
well, that's happened hundreds of times.
Yeah.
So doors have shut more often than they have opened.
Right. And for this process, the doors all literally just flew open. Like, it happened so fast, and everything went really smoothly. Yep. So we're like, okay, we're gonna keep doing it.
We sold our house to a friend who said she wanted it within like a day. She sold her house within 24 hours. We bought this house. I mean, obviously there's always hiccups in purchases and sales of homes, but it went really, really smoothly.
Yep.
How have you adjusted to moving, considering a move, but sad to leave your friends and fam? We've adjusted perfectly, but again, my parents live in our guest house 3 to 4 months a year, so there's consistency there. Right now, Ben's parents are here visiting. Next month, half of his siblings are coming, and his mom is coming to stay with us for Christmas for 9-10 days. After that, I have friends coming. After that, we have a wedding back in Washington. So we're away, but the people who we love and we care for, we still have continual relationship with and FaceTime and.
Yeah, we didn't cut the cord. We're still definitely connected with the people that we're closest with.
Other than the weather, what's the biggest reason you move? Like-minded people. I wouldn't say it has anything to do with like-minded people. We loved Washington. We loved our community there. But we are like adventure seekers. We love the new. We love finding new grocery stores and gas stations and car washes. Like, all of that's exciting for us. So I don't think this will be our last move. I think we're going to continue to move until we die.
I also kind of feel like it's...
Can you get down? Just because I don't want it to shake the camera.
I also kind of feel like it's character building to move somewhere new and kind of start over at a certain part in your life. Like, I don't know. I think that's kind of something that a lot of people should try.
Yeah, because and I mean, if it fails, you can always go back.
Yeah, exactly. And we are always kind of like, you know what, maybe we won't like it there, but we need to try because we've been talking about this for 10 years or 11 years.
And why the heck not? It's like you're losing your moving money, but why not try?
Right. Because maybe you'll love it. Maybe it'll totally change your life.
And the one thing we always say is, like, I want to look back on my life and know that I did it all. Like, I want to say I wanted to do it, so I did it.
You're never going to look back on your life and wish you had less adventure.
Even sometimes it sucks. Yeah. But you're not going to regret it.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, Wesley, could you please go out of the room and go put your costume on because we have to leave for lunch in a little bit. Oh, okay. Thank you. We're going to lunch with his parents who are here visiting. Why has Ben so weird? From your sister, from Bonnie, your sister. Nice. Our sister-in-law.
It's just my natural God-given ability to be weird and to make everybody else feel better about themselves.
She asked another question, but it's totally inappropriate. Favorite RV items to make camping easier? Oh gosh, an outside stove grill. I would need one because we don't have one in this RV and I miss it desperately. A good RV mat, crucial, so you can have more outdoor living space. Simplicity. Like, don't overload your RV. I feel like that's everything. Sometimes less is more.
Mm-hmm.
Less is more. You only need 1 cup per person, 1 fork per person. Less is more.
Totally.
And
a French press.
Yeah, and a French press. Do your kids eat what you make them, and how do you handle if they don't like what you make? Rules. My kids eat what I make them, and if they don't, then they don't eat. That's basically our rule. So they have just learned, like, if you don't like it,
We don't.
Well, I also try to make meals that I know that they're gonna like. Like, sometimes 1 or 2 won't like them, and that's just how it goes with a bigger family.
Right.
But I do make kid-friendly meals. I don't make spicy food or curries or anything like that quite very often.
Yeah. And we don't, like, make them sit at their table until they eat their food kind of thing. Like, if they really are going to put their foot down about it and they don't want to eat it, we're like, that's okay, but then you're not going to eat. So at some point they're going to decide, okay, I'm actually really hungry and I'm just going to eat this anyways.
Well, we have a really steadfast rule that if you choose not to eat your dinner, you may not have any more food until bed, like until breakfast the next morning. There is no dessert. There is nothing. Mm-hmm. You either eat your meal and you get dessert, or you don't eat your meal and you just are hungry.
Yeah.
So at some point, they just learn to appreciate the meal that they're given. Of course, there's always things like, this is disgusting, and then we'll take a bite and it's disgusting, and they're like, let's order pizza. There's always ebbs and flows with every rule. We're not really steadfast on anything, but we do know, like, if they hate it, but they're trying, then we'll be like, okay, 2 more bites and you can have dessert. Mm-hmm. There is no steadfast rule, because there's some things like certain texture of eggs for me make me want to die. Like, I just cannot eat it, even me as an adult. So I want to be flexible with the expectation I have for my kids, because they might have the same thing about broccoli. You know, we all have different tastes.
They also know that we're not going to leave the food on the table all night either. So it's like, you got to eat now, and if you get distracted at a certain point, the food's going away.
Yeah.
So
like
eat
that,
your dinner.
It goes like that with breakfast. You need to eat now, because when we clear the table, you're not having any more food.
Right.
Like, so I think the expectation for our kids is just, if you don't eat, you're going to be hungry.
Yep.
So eat your dinner.
Yep.
Is Ben still working? Is it cheaper to live in Texas versus Washington? And did you go to Miranda Lambert's booth in Round Top? I didn't know Miranda Lambert had a booth in Round Top. But I would have gone. I will next time, now that I know.
Yes, I'm still working. With the COVID environment, everything turned remote for me back in March.
Which has been amazing. He's home
it's-
all the time.
And it still is, and there's some
You
other
love
things
it.
that
You
we're
love
working
being with
on.
me 24/7.
Yeah!
And,
What else did they ask?
is it cheaper in Texas versus Washington? Yes.
In some aspects, yes.
Is it more expensive in any aspect?
Taxes are more expensive
Oh,
here,
yeah.
specifically.
Our home taxes, guys, are through the roof.
Yeah,
Here.
but that's more just, I think, surrounding the Austin area.
Yeah.
But yes, like gas, I filled up on gas yesterday, and it was $1.65
We
a
were paying,
gallon
what,
or something like
$2.15
that.
in Washington?
We were paying like $2.50 at least.
That's a huge difference, especially
Or
here, because
more.
we're driving all the time.
Yeah.
But food is cheaper.
Food is a little cheaper.
Clothes are cheaper, because there's just more options.
Yeah.
At least for where we were living, there was one small mall and one grocery store. So there's just more options. Produce is a lot cheaper, too.
There's a lot more toll roads around here, though. That's
There
for
are.
sure.
But we don't have a toll tag, so we haven't gotten the extent of that. Why did y'all move to Texas? I think we covered that.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to. Hello. Is there anything about Texas that you didn't know and that you just love?
Oh.
I don't love the bugs. We had a tarantula on our driveway.
They're asking like things that you do love.
I know, but I love all of it.
Oh,
but
okay.
these are the things I don't love. Tarantula on our driveway.
Yeah, that was when I was gone too.
Oh, I have a clip of it. I'll put it right here. Okay, guys, we're just having a relaxing Sunday.
Yeah, we
Ben's
were
out of
just-
town.
Can I talk?
And then we look over, and what do we see?
We see tarantula! There's a tarantula! We were just sitting in the pool, putting our feet in and watching Lawson jump in, and then suddenly we see Dixie doing something, and like, Dixie, what are you doing? And there's a tarantula. She's sniffing a tarantula! In a bubble!
Okay, here, you film. I'll show you.
I'm freaking out!
Okay, so we trapped it under here. By we, I mean me, because Ben's out of town. But my question is, what do I do with a tarantula? What do you do with a tarantula?
We stomp on it?
I feel like we should just like release it out in the field.
No, kill it.
But why would we kill it?
Because
It's not doing anything bad to us.
it's still it.
I mean, I don't really want it by the house, but it's not mean.
Kill it.
No, we're gonna let it go. We're gonna trap it and we're gonna let it go.
Okay, do you want me to get a jar?
No, I'm just gonna.
Weird.
Guys, what's gonna happen? It's fine. It's just a spider. Let's go throw it in the bushes over here.
Alexis said they were very poisonous and deadly.
Well, it's not touching me, so it can't be poisonous if it's not touching
Whatever
me.
they said it was deadly.
Yeah, but it also eats things that we don't want around our house. Bye, tarantula. Good to go. We release the tarantula into the field brush. Tarantula. Oh, what are the odds? How many people go their whole life without having a tarantula in their driveway? Let me tell you. Okay. On with my day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Good times.
Yeah, that was fun.
Good times. Something that we didn't know that we really like. I don't know. We've been here a lot of times, and
Yeah.
we've spent a lot of time here, so I don't think there's any really big surprises.
I've been here like a month every year since I've been born, and all my family's from here. My brother was born here. My mom was 9 months pregnant when we moved from here. So it's just like home to me. It feels like home, like Washington State. It's very familiar to me.
Everybody is really kind and friendly here, which I really
Yeah.
enjoy.
That's always so surprising. Like you go to a shop and you act like you're leaving with a new best friend because they're so kind.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not like that in Washington at all. Are you two almost always happy and smiling and go lucky?
We are. I think we are a lot. I mean, it's not always.
I would say 90% of the time, unless we're fighting, and then we're not.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we're not putting all the we're not putting the negative moments on camera, obviously.
No, when
but
we're like,
yeah, yeah.
Because
So,
we do that. People ask all the time, like, you guys don't ever fight. Oh, we fight.
Yeah.
We're
but I think it's important to. You can't just sweep stuff under the rug and just shove it down.
Yeah.
I've definitely tried that, and it doesn't work. It just makes things worse.
Yeah. And I'm more of like let's talk it out right now. And then we're past it. And that's kind of
Yeah.
where you've gotten to because I make you do that.
Right.
But our conflict style has had to blend over the last couple years, 11 years, 12, 13 years. Oh, we went there.
No.
But we'll fight and it'll be like our worst fight has maybe lasted an hour.
Yeah.
Our very worst. And then
Yeah.
we're like this again.
Right.
We're like, oh, I love you. I love you too.
And we do we regularly dance in the kitchen together and just have fun with each other. Like I think that we've done a good job of being each other's best friend.
Yeah.
Like legitimately. And
Yeah.
I think that's why it was also easy for us to move too. Because as long as we have each other,
we're fine.
we're good.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time is people are like, are you having a really hard time not having all your friendships with you here? It's like, well, not really. Like I have my best friend in Washington, but I still FaceTime her every day. And I have my sister-in-law who I talk to all the time still, and my nephews FaceTime me all the time. But my person for 13 years has been Ben. And even before that, we were really good friends. So when you have and that's with traveling too, when you have your friend who you have fun with, we love each other, yes, but before any of that, we're really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And we make each other laugh and we poke fun at each other and play pranks on each other. We have a solid friendship above everything else. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. A lot of repeats. Is this new place going to be your definite home, or are you guys planning to move again in the future? We will never have a forever home, I think.
I think we've realized that there's no such thing as a forever home. I think this place has the potential to be a very long-term home.
Yeah.
And that our kids could grow up here and we could stay here all through that.
Through high school.
Yeah, but I don't think that we'll retire here. I think
No.
especially once the kids are out of the house, I don't think this would really
We're
make
already
sense.
talking about where we want to move next.
Yeah, yeah.
We already talk about it. But we want to live what we always say, we want to live a big life, and our home doesn't determine our family. Our home doesn't determine our happiness at all. And while this is a fun project and we're having so much fun and we know the kids will have a really good childhood and youth here, we also know that you can make anywhere your home. We made an RV our home, 200 square feet, and it was great. Mm-hmm. So now we live in a bigger home and it's great, just more to clean, So it's, our family isn't our home, right? It's
Our family is our home. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, our house isn't our home life.
Yeah, right.
Okay, let's see. how did you purchase a house that Ben hadn't really seen much? With a lot of freaking out. So I flew down here with my mom and my aunt. My aunt lives here. And we met her down here, and she was our real estate agent. And she showed us the house, and I was just freaking out. I was like, it was so much pressure to see the house by myself, to buy the house by myself, and then to sell our house that we love, drive across the country with my husband, who I was hoping more than anything could be here with me, but couldn't because someone had to watch the kids, and he wasn't going to pick out a house by himself because he doesn't decorate. So
yeah, it was definitely stressful for Becca. It was.
You had total faith, like you were totally fine.
I did. So I mean, I'm a very easygoing person, and I'm very confident in Becca and in her decisions because she knows me and I know her, and I don't know if I've ever really not liked a decision that she's made about
Except
anything.
my clothes. You're always like, ooh. And then
I end up liking them though at the end. So it
but
all
whenever
works
I
out.
buy anything, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, but like we spent hours on FaceTime together, going through the whole house together. So yeah, I wasn't here in person, but I was able to get a really good feel for the house, but she was so nervous the first time that we drove up to the house and came and saw it. She was like, "Do you like it? Are you sure? Do you like it?"
For like 3 weeks, I was like, "Are you sure you like it? Are you sure you like living in Texas?" Because I would have never moved. Like, I'm a big dreamer, but I'm not. I need someone to push me to be the doer, and so Ben definitely made the steps to move here and like pushed me to do it and sell our house and did all the financing and did all the things because I just wouldn't have. And so people are always like, "Becca, you made Ben move to Texas," but I didn't. He made me.
Not at all.
And that's what people don't understand. Like, everyone thinks that I did it.
You're just more vocal about stuff, but
I also like to push the buttons of the people who didn't want us to move. Where I'm like, "We're moving."
But you were also terrified at the idea of doing that. So it was
scared.
more me being like, "No, we're gonna do this. I'm ready, and I've been ready for a couple of years. So let's go."
And it was so funny. Yesterday, Ben went out onto our driveway and just laid there in the sun. He's like, "I love it here."
It's fantastic.
And all I could envision was a tarantula coming down the road. Anyway, that's the end of our Q&A. I hope you liked this unedited Q&A. If you finished this Q&A and you made it to the end, what do we want them to comment? Quick, our battery's dying.
Ruffle Puff. Is it Ruffle Puff or is it? What is it? The the Harry Potter thing. Hufflepuff? Is that what it's? No, say Ruffle Puff. Oh.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, if you want a tour of our house, we'll be doing one next week. And so make sure you stay tuned for next Sunday's video. We will see you then. And if you haven't, subscribe yet and share our channel with all of your friends.
Aye.
Q&A day, eh?
Aye.
See you next week.
See ya.